They're to say this was a mistake. All of a sudden, the channel was bombarded with comments about a team that doesn't even exist. Perhaps it was my ignorance, but the AFL's 20th team video did have in hindsight a glaring omission. But out of nowhere, an email was sent to me, and with some help, for all the people who called me out in that video, the mistake will be fixed. Too bad, it's not the only thing I've gotten wrong to start the 2024 AFL season. Looking at Perth, two locations make sense for another club's base. Joondalup up north and Mandurah down south are further enough away from the other two clubs. To get this out the way, here we go. It's Joondalup and Mandurah. I apologise to all Western Australians. At least I was kinda close on Mandurah, but Joondalup was just embarrassing on first attempt. Now that's over with, let's get into the main issue here. Now Canberra was completely left out as an option for the 20th AFL team. It crossed my mind a little, but left quickly, mainly because the GWS Giants are locked to play games there until 2032. Either way, in hindsight, it 100% belonged on the list. To help make this pitch for Canberra, the information was sent to me by Steve, who runs the Canberra AFL team Twitter account. The link to the Twitter page is in the description of the video, so please, if you are interested, check it out. So why and how can Canberra fit in as the 20th AFL team? Well, the big reason they were left out is due to their further 8-year partnership with the GWS Giants. However, 6,000 or 18% of the Giants membership is from Canberra. To people from the territory, they are a pretty inoffensive second team to support and easy to go watch a few times a year, especially when they are good. So the Giants are not yet as deeply rooted in Canberra as first thought. The population is another key element. According to the past couple census, Canberra is the fastest growing state or territory. The entire Greater Canberra area is home to 560,000 people. To compare, it's roughly double Hobart. By 2033, when the Giants deal is up, the region's population is predicted to be 650,000, and if the team sets up to catch the population of southern New South Wales, as well as the combined area, it will be around 1.1 million people. That is something you can build on. And every year, the crowds at Manuka Oval are strong, and despite the Giants hosting lower membership clubs, the games are often sold out and are expected to be again in 2024. It is a multi-code town, but the population go and play Australian rules football. It means the stadium is already built, although it does need some work. In an economic sense, $2.85 million of funding from the government to the Giants would go to the single territory team. The naming rights for the stadium is $300,000 for 3 games, so for 11 games in a normal home and away season, that money would top $1 million. So combined, there is already a lot of money sitting there for a sole team. Adding Canberra's comparatively wealthy population and its neat location from both Sydney and Melbourne, it does look attractive as a startup. However, it will take time. That deal with the Giants will last until 2032, but perhaps that does give time for a joint commitment similar to what Tasmania did to launch an official bid for Team 20. The territory has produced stars with the likes of Jack Steele, Tom Green, James Hird and Phil Davis all growing up in the nation's capital. The information here does make a possible bid look strong, and no doubt leaving them out of the initial video was an error. I still like the WA team a touch ahead, but why not Canberra as the location of our 20th team? 2 AFL clubs have also proven me wrong so far. It was about a month ago that the entire Melbourne Football Club's off-field situation became clear, joining their on-field issues too. The forward line looked on paper pretty average. I did question Max Gawn's leadership a touch about not investigating if there was a drug issue with a portion of the group, and dismissed any notion Clayton Oliver would be ready for opening round. Well, the D's have made all this look silly. Besides opening round, they have at least scored 78 points in their 4 victories, and it includes the 3rd best goal kicking accuracy in the entire competition. That will work, and it's a big reason why they beat Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, and then backed it up on Thursday night, beating the Crows at the same venue. Defensively, they are superb, even with Stephen May missing a game, while captain Max Gawn has been unreal since Grundy beat him in the first game of the season. The culture must be solid, as you don't go on the road against the hot team in Port and win by a kick if you are not led well from the front, and then follow up that effort against Adelaide, staying in South Australia the entire time. Then there is Clary. He still looks a touch heavy to me, but go back and watch his game specifically against the Western Bulldogs. He was brutal and relentless in his second game back with no pre-season and not even close to being 100% fit. He still dominated. Besides Thursday night, in the prior 3 games, Oliver had not dipped below 25 disposals and 5 clearances. His off-field seems to be more stable. He's admitted work still needs to be done, but clearly he's getting reward for his perseverance. Sometimes clubs under fire from all angles can galvanise. Melbourne is doing it so far. And then there is Fremantle. In an old edition of Trust Your Eyes, I wrote them off without much thought. Weak forward line with average tools, a midfield that was a bit small, Nat Fyfe just about finished, and a defensive coach that couldn't get their transition game right. Once again, at this stage, who looks like a fool? I do. The thing is, Freo hasn't looked spectacular. They are mid-table as a clearance side and intercept team, while being in the bottom 4 for contested possessions. However, they have no doubt expanded their offense from the back half. They are 3rd in disposal efficiency and 4th for rebound 50s. 93, 102 and 69 have been their 3 total scores, which is solid. Their defence, as it has been for some time, is reliable. The smaller midfield has been turned around as well. Sarong as a ball hunter is great, and they seem to have got the players around him right, with Fyfe looking strong and Hayden Young getting better every game. Luke Jackson as a ruck gives the group energy, and the parts combined help Andrew Brayshaw play more on a wing and use his outside game. They came into the season a bottom half predicted team, but credit to Justin Longmuir for putting the pieces he has together. Hopefully their mounting injury total can stall for a while, and that forward line can keep functioning at least at an AFL average standard. Well, here are some mistakes that have already been made. It shows you how hard it is to make predictions in the AFL and why some of these coaches earn big money. However, in a month's time, maybe things will revert back and I might not seem too foolish.